Hello children, welcome to Nischals Smart Learning Solution. My name is Banala Jaya Raj, biology teacher, and today we will discuss class 8 ninth Nischals integrated biology textbook, and this book is having 182 pages. Class 9th Nischals biology textbook is having 182 pages and also 11 chapters are there, 11 chapters. So I am reading each and every chapter. They are there in our textbook. So first one is cell structure and function, plant tissues, animal tissues, plasma membrane, and diversity in living organism, sense organs, and animal behavior, challenges in improving agriculture products, adaptations in different ecosystem, soil pollution, also biogeochemical cycles. Like that, there are 11 chapters are there in Nischals integrated biology textbook, and we discuss the flow chart in detail. So here the flow chart of cell structure and function shows that it is having what? Cells. So cell is called as structural and functional unit of living organisms. So here cell is performing several metabolic activities, and also we studied based on the presence of nucleus, cells are of two types. They are prokaryotic cells and also eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells example bacterial cell, and eukaryotic cell example plant cell, also animal cells. And also we discuss based on the presence of cells in the organism, and there are two types, and they are unicellular and also multicellular. So here amoeba consisting of only one cell, so that is the reason they are called as unicellular organism, having only one cell and performing all metabolic activities. And multicellular organisms are having many cells, trillions and trillions of cells present. Example, amphibians, reptiles, aves, mammals. So these are the animals, and these animals are having many cells. So they are called as multicellular organisms, unicellular and also multicellular. And also we discuss, so what are the components which are present in a cell. So here we discuss the presence of nucleus. Nucleus is having nuclear membrane, so it is a double membrane structure and is perforated, and it consists of nucleoplasm and also chromosomes and also genes, chromatin. And we also discuss other parts of the cell like cell wall, cell membrane, and plastids, and also we discuss what are the components which are present, cell organelles which are present in a cell. Just we discuss the names of the cell organelles which are present in a cell, in cytoplasm of a cell. They are mitochondria, Golgi complex, lysosomes, and vacuoles, and endoplasmic reticulum, and Golgi, that is ribosomes. Like that, we studied, we discussed several, that is organelles which are present in the cell organelles. And now on the interactive flat panel, here you are observing a heading. There you see cell membrane. So first we need to understand about, so what is the difference between cell wall and also cell membrane. So cell wall is present only in case of plant cells, but also it also present in case of prokaryotic bacteria. In plant cells, cell wall is made up of cellulose, but in case of prokaryote like bacteria, cell wall is made up of polysaccharides, also proteins. And cell wall is permeable, and it is shows rigidity and provides strength to the cells. And below the cell wall, cell membrane is present. So cell membrane is present both in plant cell and also in prokaryote like bacteria, and also present in eukaryotic cell. They are present, cell membrane is present both in prokaryotic cell, plant cell, and also animal cell. But animal cells are having only cell membrane, cell wall is absent. Animal cells are having only cell membrane, and cell membrane is a limiting membrane, and it separates and it products the inner content of the cell from the external environment. It also providing what it is a protective sheet present around the, that is cytoplasm, and also other cell contents which are present in the cell. And here cell membrane is also called as semi permeable membrane. It is also called as plasma membrane. And this cell membrane is made up of lipoproteins, but cell wall is made up of cellulose. But here cell membrane or plasma membrane is consisting of, it consisting of lipoproteins, and lipoprotein is embedded between two protein layer. So in between the two protein layer, lipid layer is present. So here you see lipoproteins. It is also called as plasma membrane. Cell membrane is also called as a plasma membrane, and it is made up of lipoproteins. So here it is present both in plant cell also animal cell, and it comprises three layers. It is having three layers. So in the middle, so here you see in the middle, and the lipid layer is present. Just the lipid layer is bounded by means of two protein layer. So it is having three layers, and it is this lipid layer is sandwiched between the two protein layer. And cell membrane or plasma membrane is also called as semi permeable membrane, and it allows and also certain substances to get in, also certain substances to get out. So in this way semi permeable membrane, it is called as a semi permeable membrane. So here you see it maintain, I told you it maintain the shape of the cell, and it product the inner content of the cell from the external environment, and it also absorbs what mechanical shocks and product the cell from injuries, and it allows certain substance to get into the cell and certain substances to get out of the cell. Again you see, and it also useful for to entry of the substance into the cell, and also excess of the cell, some of the substance out of the cell by means of osmosis and diffusion. Children, on the interactive flat panel you are observing the presence of a heading, that is cell membrane. Cell membrane also called as plasma membrane, and also we discuss the structure of the cell membrane, and also the function of the cell membrane, and also we discuss the difference between cell wall and so cell membrane. Cell wall is present only in case of plant cell, and absent in animal cell. Cell wall is made up of cellulose in case of plant cell, and in case of prokaryote is made up of polysaccharides as a protein. But in case of animals, cell membrane is made up of lipoprotein, and a lipid layer is sandwiched between the two protein layer. It is having three layers, and now you are observing the presence of a good diagram, figure number 1.7, that is the cell membrane. So here you are observing the presence of lipid layer, and this lipid layer is sandwiched between the two protein layer, and there is the presence of carbohydrate chain, alpha helix protein, hydrophobic region, and also cholesterol and inner membrane and outer membrane. And here you see inner and outer membranes are having proteins. In between the inner protein, also outer protein layer, lipid layer is sandwich. So that is the structure of cell membrane or plasma membrane. So it is also called as semi permeable membrane. It allows certain substance to get into the cell and certain substance to get out of the cell, and this by means of osmosis also diffusion. And we need to understand about another cell organelle. It is an important cell organelle, and that is the nucleus. So nucleus is, so here a well developed. So here a prominent nucleus. Here you see a true nucleus. Why we call it as a true nucleus? Because this nucleus is having nuclear membrane and it is double membrane structure and it is perforated and nucleopores are present and nucleus is controlling the functions of other organelles. So here it controls all the functions of the cell, and that is the reason nucleus is called as a control room. And it is covered by and it is having a double membranous nuclear membrane and it is perforated. It can have nucleopores and it also allows to some substances to come into the nucleus and also some substance to come go out of the nucleus. And inside the nucleus there is a fluid material and that fluid material is semi fluid and colloid substance and that is called as nucleoplasm. And this nucleoplasm consisting of chromosomes. It also called like chromatin and also nucleolus. And these are floating in the nucleoplasm. So children, we discuss the nature of the nucleus. So nucleus is called a control room. It consists of a double layer and it is perforated. So inside the nucleus we can see the presence of a fluid material and that fluid material colloidal and it is a semi fluid structure and it consists of chromosomes. It also called like chromatin and nucleoplasm also consists of nucleolus. All these are floating in the nucleoplasm. So that is a brief description about nucleus. So here why it is called as true nucleus? Because of the presence of nuclear membrane. But in case of prokaryotes there is no nuclear membrane. So that is the reason that nucleus is called as a false nucleus and it is not a true nucleus and only one single chromosome present and circular DNA present and that is called as genome nucleotide in case of prokaryotes. In case of prokaryotes vacuoles are absent. So that is the difference between prokaryotic that is genetic material and that is genetic material and also the genetic material that are present in the eukaryotes is having a nuclear membrane consisting of nucleoplasm and nucleoplasm consists of nucleolus and also some proteins. So that is the brief description about nucleus. A true nucleus acts as a control room. Why? Because it is controlling the all the functions of other cell organelles. All cell organelles are functions are under the control of nucleus and that is the reason it is called as a control room. And it is a bilayer, it consists of only two layers perforated and nuclear membrane is present and nucleus is filled with a there you see a semi fluid colloid substance that is called as nucleoplasm in which nucleus and also chromatin floats and nucleus contain chromosomes. Chromosome consisting of DNA and DNA full form is deoxyribonucleic acid and also proteins. And now we need to understand about the functions of nucleus. Already I told you nucleus is called a control room and nucleus consists of chromatin, chromosomes, genetic material. The fragment, that is the functional unit of a DNA is called a gene and here nucleus is useful for synthesis of proteins. Again it consists of chromosome and nucleus divides so they thereby the new cells are formed. So here cell division takes place with the presence of chromosomes and helps in formation of two daughter nuclei with the other cell organelles and that is called as the cell division. It is of two types, mitotic cell division also meiotic cell division. So here cell division helps the formation of new cells and also chromosomes, they pass that is the characters from one generation to the another generation. So all these are the functions performed by the nucleus. Now I am reading the functions of nucleus. First, nucleus controls all the activities cell. So that is the reason it is called as a control room. And nucleus carries that is genetic information in the form of DNA. The here DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. The functional unit of a DNA is called gene. The functional segment of DNA is called as gene. Nucleus plays an important role in protein synthesis, and it also helpful in transmission of character from one generation to the another generation. So all these are the functions performed by nucleus. Children, here you are observing figure number 1.8 nucleus, and there you see the presence of nucleus, and here this is chromatin, chromosomes. Chromosomes are present in the nucleus, and around the nucleus you can see the presence of endoplasmic reticulum, a network of tubular structures, sac-like structures are present around the nucleus, and it is performing its own activities. So here this is the nucleus and this is nucleolus, and it consists of nucleoplasm, nuclear pore. A nucleus consists of a double membrane structure that is called nuclear membrane, and it is porous. It allows certain substance to get in and also certain substance to get out. And you see the presence of nuclear membrane. So all these are the parts of the nucleus. Again, you are seeing the presence of a chromosome. Chromosomes are made up of DNA. The functional segment of DNA is called a gene. Nucleus is called as a control room, and it controls the functions of other cell organelles, and it also helpful in protein synthesis. It also helpful in transmission of characters from one generation to the another generation. Children, here we discuss the cell membrane. Cell membrane also called as plasma membrane, and it also helpful. It is called as the semi-permeable membrane. It is made up of lipoprotein. It consists of three layers. And also we discuss what is nucleus and what is a true nucleus and what are the contents which are present in the nucleus. And also we discuss the functions of nucleus clearly. And also you are observing the presence of nucleus diagram, and that is figure number 1.8 nucleus. Here on the interactive flat panel, there are 6 questions are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. 6 questions are there, and all questions are very easy. Why? Because already we discussed the concept which are there in this topic, cell, its structure and function. And now I am reading the first question. Describe the structure and function of cell wall. So cell wall is present in case of plant cell and also in case of bacterial cell. In case of plant cell, cell wall is made up of cellulose, but in case of bacterium, it is made up of polysaccharide, also proteins. And cell wall provides rigidity and it protects the inner content of the cell, especially plant cell. And in case of bacteria, it is enclosed in capsule, and outer layer capsule is cell wall. It is made up of polysaccharides, also protein. But in case of plant cell, it is made up of cellulose and it is permeable. So that answer you need to write for the first question. Second question, both plants and animals have cell membrane. True or false? True. So cell membrane is present in prokaryotes and also eukaryotes like plants and also animals, also bacteria. Just below the cell wall in case of plant cell, cell membrane is present. But in case of animals, there is no cell wall. Only cell membrane is present. The other name for cell membrane is plasma membrane. So it is also called as semi-permeable membrane. It allows certain substance to get into the cell and certain substances get out of the cell. So that answer you need to write for the second question. It's true. And what is the role of nucleus? So here a true nucleus is present in case of eukaryotes, and a true nucleus is absent in case of prokaryotes. Why it is called as a true nucleus? Because it is having nuclear membrane and is perforated. And this nucleus consists of nucleoplasm. It is a semi-fluid and colloid substance, and this nucleoplasm consisting of chromosomes, and chromosome consists of DNA. The full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. The functional segment of a DNA is called a gene, and nucleus is called as a control room. Why? Because it is control